everybody. So today I thought it'd be fun to give sort of a shout out to 2016 movies that I think were either underpraised or underseen. Movies that I really liked that either a lot of people didn't see or that didn't get the reviews I don't think that they deserved, or both. And so let's get started. These aren't in any particular order, this list. Okay, the first movie that I'm going to talk about is The Dressmaker. The Dressmaker is a very weird movie. I understand why it wouldn't be for everybody. It is very messy. I'll grant you that. It's totally kind of all over the place, but I don't know. I found it really funny when I was trying to be funny. I found it scary in a way. It had these sort of horror aspects to it with blood and guts and and revenge. And it's really a revenge movie. And Kate Winslet is so gorgeous in it. Holy cow, Liam Hemsworth is so hot in it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I just enjoyed it. The costumes are so great. And it was a mess, but it was an enjoyable mess too. This movie I think was underseen is Florence Foster Jenkins. This movie starred Meryl Streep and Hugh Grant, and it really wasn't what people expected. It wasn't what I expected, at least, because going from the trailers and stuff, you think it's just going to be like a warm-hearted underdog story, but it's actually a little more subversive than that, a little more different than that, because you don't really know if the people are just being yes men to Florence, or if she's just sort of deluded, or what is going on. The relationship between her and the Hugh Grant character is very different, and sort of there's subversive kind of elements to that. I have 13 Hours, and I think if this hadn't been directed by Michael Bay, I think that a lot more people would be talking about it, and it would have done better at the box office. It came out in January, and this is a solid movie, I think, about the events in Benghazi. It's visceral. You feel like you're there, and I really thought the performances were good. John Krasinski gives a good performance, and I liked it. I really did. I thought it was good. Next, I have one of my favorite comedies of the year that nobody in the US hardly saw, is Bridget Jones's Baby. I thought this movie was really funny, especially anytime they were at the newsroom. Just made me laugh really hard. So I liked it. I guess it just depends on whether you think the jokes are funny, and I really did. Next one on my list is Eddie the Eagle. Taron Egerton is so charming here. I really liked him and Hugh Jackman. It's just a heartwarming, cheerful underdog story. It's less subversive. It's not as good as Florence Foster Jenkins, but I really enjoyed watching it. I thought it was just a very cheerful, fun movie. So I recommend Eddie the Eagle. I love anything with the Olympics. Hello. Okay. And the next underseen film is called London Road, and this is underseen probably because most people haven't heard of it, but this is a really cool movie. It's based on a musical, I guess, a play in Britain, where they literally took transcripts from this case of investigating these prostitutes were all murdered during the same period of time, and they took the police transcripts and they literally took those transcripts and made them into the text for this musical, which is kind of crazy and interesting and different. So you've got all these interviews with all these different people and their sort of perspectives about what is going on. And it's really good. Like, if you like this kind of sort of musical like that, where they're just sort of talking and there's not like a real like song, then I think this is cool. And you do get to see Tom Hardy for just a few seconds singing as a cab driver, which is sort of fun. My next underseen one is Kung Fu Panda 3. This one made a lot of money. It did fine, but I don't know, I just feel like everybody's sort of forgotten about it. And I think this movie was really good. I love the animation. It was so beautiful, the way they combined the 2D and the CG. I think that the humor really worked. I think that they had this nice mixture of humor and action that I really liked. I really liked the adoption message that you got. And so I think it's underrated, underseen, whatever, for the year for animation. Next one that I want to talk about is The Knight of Cups. This is by Terrence Malick. This is an art piece, but it's the kind of art piece that I personally like because it's just so beautiful. And this is a very cynical side to Terrence Malick, because it's all about just sort of the corruption of LA and the corruption of Hollywood. And it should be a companion piece to La La Land, which is all like positive and everything. But it's got great acting, great performances. Manuel Lubezki does the cinematography, which is gorgeous. And I don't know. I liked it. Next, I have Passengers. Passengers got really bad reviews. Not that many people have seen it. I liked it. I gave it a B. Yeah, it has some problems, but I think that the main criticism about it being sexist, I don't really believe, because I kind of understood why the Chris Pratt character does what he did, because he's so alone and you really feel that loneliness, and I think he just has a mental break where he's going to kill himself or he's going to, do what he does, and he makes the decision to do what he does. And I may not agree with that decision, but I felt like I understood it, and I felt like the movie didn't forgive him for that. I felt like he was punished for it, at least enough for me. And I thought they had such great chemistry, and I thought that it was just so beautiful. Everything was just gorgeous. There's this scene where they lose gravity and she's swimming in a pool and the water it looked so cool. And I don't know, I liked it. I thought it was a nice romance, and they had good chemistry, and that's really what I want in a romance. Next, I have Midnight Special, which I think is woefully underrated. I think that this movie is better than Arrival, which is getting all of the praise. I really loved Midnight Special. I like the way that you get right down into the heart of the situation. They don't spend any time with exposition or boring you with all of this backstory or whatever. It's all just part of the case, and it's all just kind of interwoven into the story as you're going, which I liked. And it's really a movie about belief and how all these different people believe in this boy differently and with these powers. And the next one that was underseen was Queen of Katwe. This was tragically underseen. This movie is beautiful. I was so moved by it. It went darker places than I was ever expecting Disney to take it. And the acting is so good by all involved. Lupita Nyong'o is wonderful as the mother, and she's not nobody in this movie is perfect. They all are like flawed, and they all struggle. And it's not a sort of an idyllic vision of poverty at all. It definitely is gritty and realistic, I thought, especially for a Disney movie. And I loved it. David Oyelowo is wonderful. You really should see it and have your kids see it. It's important for them to see, I think. And then next I have Lion. And this movie, you're definitely going to see in my top 10. This movie was so stunning. I loved it. It's about this boy who gets lost in India. The first half of the movie is all about just this little boy with an amazing child actor. He ends up getting adopted by this family in Tasmania, and they're very well played by one of the mothers, played by Nicole Kidman, and she was great in it. And I just thought it was inspiring and beautiful, beautifully filmed, and it wasn't over the heavy-handed, I think, in the messaging, but I love an adoption message, and I thought it was just one of the best of the year. Next up, I have Middle School. I thought that this movie did a good job of making a good movie for its target demographic, and I don't think it was given enough credit for that. I really liked the way that they added an animation, and it kind of built on his creativity, and I didn't like the Rob Riggle character. I didn't like that at all. But I thought that the sort of reveal, the surprise, I was hooked by it. I thought it was emotional. I thought it was good. I thought the relationship between the brother and the sister were good. I thought Lauren Graham was good as the mom, although her relationship with the Rob character was stupid. And I thought these different pranks that they pull off were entertaining and fun. And I think this could be sort of a low-level Home Alone kind of thing for kids that age. And I just think so few things in live action are made for that demographic. I really appreciated it. Real quick, the next is Hunt for the Wilderpeople. This was directed by Taika Waititi. This movie is funny. It's sweet. It's about this boy who's in foster care. He ends up getting kind of adopted by this couple. Him and the uncle, the new dad, I guess, end up going on this sort of expedition, I guess you'd say, in the woods of New Zealand. It's so beautiful. The cinematography, it make you want to go to New Zealand. Great acting by all involved. Sam Neill's really good in it. It's just a heartwarming, lovely, funny story that you gotta see. And then finally, the last thing on my list is Loving. This was directed by Jeff Nichols, who also did Midnight Special. What a year he had, in my opinion. This is a very moving story. Nega and Joel Edgerton play this couple who get married in DC, but it's illegal in Virginia. They still want to live in Virginia because of the country, but they can't do it, so they have to move to DC. And what surprised me about this is how little time is actually spent on the court case, because the famous court case of Loving versus Virginia, where interracial marriage was challenged, but it's really actually very minor part of the movie. It's really about this couple and about their family and about, sort of their struggles with all of this. It's a very quiet movie. It's a very sweet movie. My only flaw with the film is I did find that Edgerton was hard to understand quite a bit. So other than that, it's definitely a moving, emotional, lovely little gentle movie, I think. And so that's the ones I think are underseen, underpraised films from 2016 that are worth checking out. So if you get to see any of these, or you have seen any of them, let me know what you think. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later. Bye.